Hello, colleagues, and welcome to our 7th session of the Black Doctoral Network's workshop series. I am Dr. Fatima Pierce, and I'm excited to moderate tonight's session, From Passion to Purpose, Using Your Experiences to Advance or Pivot Careers. I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Cletus Allen, who's going to walk us through this journey this evening. And Dr. Allen is a professional educator with over 12 years of experience, multiple roles in education, including elementary classroom education. She is a professional learning facilitator, curriculum auditor and writer, and governing board member for a local charter high school. Currently, Dr. Allen serves as a curriculum and instruction specialist for Amplify Inc., and she's the owner of elementary education consulting firm Cletus Education Consulting. Dr. Allen supports both novice and veteran educators, educational leaders, and college students with cultivating instructional equity and excellence within careers and outside the field of education. Outside of education, Dr. Allen is a crochet designer and owns Crochets by Kenya. How fantastic to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, and good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be amongst colleagues here tonight to present something that I'm passionate about and something that's really important during this time of the year, especially if you're thinking about advancing or pivoting careers. So we can go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen.
Thanks so much. While you're doing that, just a reminder that this presentation is interactive. We will have time for questions at the end, but it is going to be conversational. So there will be opportunities for you to come off mute and ask questions, and we want you to be engaged. At the end of this session, you'll also receive a link to an evaluation form, which we would like for you to stay and fill out, and you will also have access to the recording tomorrow. So you are up, Dr. Allen. The floor is yours.
All right, can everyone hear me? Okay, perfect. So we are going to go ahead and get started again. The title of this presentation is From Passion to Purpose, Using Your Experiences to Advance or Pivot Careers. So I like to get started with a quote that's really, really important and near and dear to my heart. It's a quote that has really guided me as I've transitioned and shifted during my career in education. And as you guys see, it says, when you get, give, and when you learn, teach. And with this workshop, I think this is really important that, you know, when someone learns an experience or has some type of information to share, you always give, and you give it with good heart. So I would like to again thank you all for joining me as I present on this topic. So as an educator, I always have to have my professional learning goals and outcomes. And because I taught as an elementary teacher, everything was always in I can statements. So here are 3 professional learning goals that we are going to have tonight. I am not going to read them, but just for you guys to read them on your own. We're going to focus on identifying our dream job or career opportunity, talk about those characteristics of the dream job or career opportunity, and then think about some ways of how our past and current experiences relate to our dream job or career. So you guys already had an introduction to me, so I'm just going to go through this just to give you guys a little more information about me. I was born and raised in Chicago. And then I decided to go to Atlanta, and I'm still here in Atlanta, but I decided to go to Atlanta to go to college. And I finished my bachelor's degree at Emory University in educational studies. I went to Georgia State and got my master's in education. And then I went to Mercer University and got my education specialist with a focus in reading. And then I went back to Georgia State and got my Doctorate of Education in Curriculum and Instruction. So just to give a little background about my journey and career through education, I've taught in 2 school systems. I consulted in 1. And then, of course, now I am an entrepreneur. I also work with Amplify. And then I still have my feet in the field as I'm a governing board for Skyview High School. So if you guys think back to when you were in elementary school, there is this one question that you were probably asked so many times throughout your year. You probably have drawn pictures about it. You probably had to write a short paragraph or an essay about it. But is this question familiar to you from your teachers? Put your answer in the chat. Did your teacher ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? So we all have had this question asked to us, myself included, and also when I was an educator, I asked this question all the time. And I thought this question was really important with our topic because when we are at a young age, we think about this career that we want based on, what we see or what we believe, or even some of the careers that our parents or people in our communities have valued as really important and esteemed. So I just really wanted to see if you guys have had some of those, that question asked to you. So if you think about some of those career pathways, maybe you wanted to be a medical doctor or work in a medical related field, whether it was a nurse or whether it was in pharmacy, or you're probably in that role now. You probably thought about going into any legal work or working for the government in any way, as far as being a police officer, being a lawyer, a district attorney of any sort. And then lastly, you may have been me and decided to go and be an educator or work in any field or in academia where you are a professor, whether you are a curriculum specialist or any things of that sort. So we all had these different type of career goals that, again, we had as a child. And now that we have gotten older, we are in these different roles and pathways. And some of us have taken this pathway that we have here, where you got your high school diploma, then you went and got your bachelor's degree or associate's degree, and then you transitioned on, and you maybe have just earned, or you earned your doctorate degree, or maybe you are looking to get a master's or doctorate degree. But now we are here today, and maybe you're thinking about, I've received all these achievements, I've done all these things, but there's something that I'm really passionate about, and I have these experiences, and I want to see where I can go with these experiences. So this is going to guide us through our conversation today. So if you have that thought or that inkling, just go ahead, take a moment, put it in your brain, because we're going to do some work today, and we're going to kind of navigate that pathway. So here are just a couple of job market trends. As you guys know, in the past 2 years, there has been a lot of change that has happened in our society, not only in the United States, but globally. And if you look at some of these stats, of course, you guys may have heard of the phrase, the Great Resignation, where there are a lot of people who have quit their jobs or left their jobs for various reasons, and they're looking for other career pathways that are more fulfilling or that can work with their current environment or what they want to do. So with this time that we have in our economy, and of course in our society, there are a lot of people who are looking for jobs. and they're looking for jobs again for various reasons. And of course now, because we were in our global pandemic in the past 2 years, there are a lot of people who decided to step out and they started businesses, or they decided to go ahead and tap into that hobby that they were very passionate about. And if you look at, again, some of the descriptors, there are a lot of reasons why people decided to make that change in the past 2 years. So again, because we are in this environment, maybe you have those passions that you have room to see where you would like to pivot, or where you would like to make that change, or even just advance and from where you are now in your career. And of course, because of the lovely social media, we see that there are so many more opportunities for us to take the skills or the degrees and education that we have, and actually create a new role or create a new opportunity that will fulfill a need for a certain population. So of course, there are a lot of more people who have podcasts. There are a lot of people who are venturing out. They probably have created professional courses and things of that nature. So the influence of social media has been great, especially during the past 2 years, with the shift in not only in the job market, but of course, the shift in our society as a whole. So you may be at the crossroads and you're trying to decide, where do I want to go? Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? Or do I want to stay where I am and make some more decisions and have some more thoughts about where I want to go? And that is okay, because again, we all in our life come to a crossroads where we have to make a decision based on the careers that we would like to see and what we're passionate about. So the question that I have is, how do I move from passion to purpose? I love this quote by Stephen Covey, and if you are familiar with him, he works in the field of economy, and he always says, start with the end in mind. And when we are going through this conversation, we're definitely going to use a model where we're starting from the end, where we want to be, and then we're going to start the work of working backwards to see how we can reach our end. So if you are familiar with the backward design model, because I work in education and I've done curriculum development and design, I've used a backward design model when I have created curricula in districts, of course, also in corporate companies. So I am a proponent for the backwards design model. It gives you an opportunity to really identify your goal and then kind of work backwards again to see how and what interventions or strategies I need to put in place in order for me to reach that goal. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use the backward design model, and I've adapted it so it aligns with what we're doing today, which is we're trying to reach our dream job or career opportunity. So what we're going to do is, first, we're going to identify our dream job or career opportunity. And of course, it's going to diversify based on what field you're in or what field you would like to be in. And then we're going to identify some of those characteristics that are really important. And what I mean by that is, what are some of those qualities that you need in order to be successful in your dream job or career opportunity? And then lastly, we're going to really look at it and apply some of our past or current experiences to the dream. So we're going to see, what experiences do we have currently, or what experiences that we've acquired in the past that really align to those characteristics of success in our dream job or opportunity. So here is our first question. What is your dream job or opportunity? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go ahead and think about it, whether it is in your field now or the field that you would like to be in. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. All right. So you guys had an opportunity to identify your dream job or career opportunity. Go ahead and let's put that in the chat. So I see we have consultant advisor, research, change agent. Ooh, I would like to know more about that. Ooh, change agent. Administrator, higher education, nutrition specialist. Awesome. Thank you guys for your participation. Now, you have your dream job or career opportunity in mind. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually write your dream jobs and career opportunities here so we can stay engaged. So I'm going to look in the chat and I'm just going to put it here so it can be a record for all of us. So I have consultant advisor. I would love to know more about that too.
I can call them out for you if that would help.
That would be great.
So I see nutrition specialist, innovation strategist, change agent, higher ed administrator, under consulting, there are various fields, public safety, consent decree management, and research.
So you said there was a public safety.
Yes.
And that is a consultant?
Yes.
All right. These are all really good dreams. Wow. So I just want to make sure that we have everyone's dream job and career opportunity. Did I miss anyone? Are we good, Dr. Pierce?
Yes, I don't see any more coming in.
All right, perfect. All right. So we all have our dreams. We all have our career opportunities that we are striving for. And again, these are some really good ideas that you guys are really looking to go into. So I would really love to know more about it as we have our conversations. So here is our second question. What characteristics are important for success in your dream job or career opportunity? What I'm going to do is I am going to give you all a brainstorming graphic organizer. It's going to be in a Word document and it's going to be in PDF form. I'm going to put it in the chat again. I want you guys to pull up the graphic organizer in whatever format you need it to be. And I want you to go ahead and fill it out, okay? I want you to put in those qualities or characteristics within the cloud bubbles. And then of course, type or write in your dream job or career opportunity at the top. And I'm going to give you guys close to about 5 minutes to go ahead and complete that. And then we're going to have an opportunity to have one person, if you're brave enough, to go ahead and share, and we'll complete it together. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat again. Please let me know if you cannot access the documents or the drive, and I will be able to send it to you, okay?
Can we just get a confirmation in the chat? Are you all able to access that folder? Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce, for the confirmation.
Sure thing. And if there are any questions while folks are working on their assignment, please feel free to raise your hand and you can either come off of mute or ask in the chat. Dr. Allen, is this something that you developed from your years of experience?
So I actually went through this process when I was making the decision to transition out of the classroom and go into the role of being an entrepreneur and working out of the district and out of the classroom. In 2019, my elementary school was actually closing here in Atlanta, and my principal actually passed right before the school closed. So it was a really big transition, not only for me as a professional, but for the school as a whole, because it was, first of all, her death was very sudden. And we were all, just trying to find our way. And I had the opportunity to really sit with some friends who were, making that transition as well. And they told me to use the resources that I have, which were my graphic organizers as a teacher. So I went through that path. I wrote down what I wanted to do, and then I took the time to really write down some of those qualities that I needed to be successful in order for me to go ahead and transition into that role. And when I saw that I had those qualities, then it was easier for me to speak about my experiences and how I will be successful in the role. So.
Wonderful, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. So that was my little testimony, as you guys have a couple of minutes.
Yes, it works. It really works.
And if you guys have any more questions, you can put it in the chat, or you're more than welcome to, again, unmute. I will happily answer as you guys are completing your first assignment.
So just in the chat as well, how are we doing? Do you need more time? Are you ready to share? Okay, we have one person saying that he cannot write on the document, but he's ready to talk about it. So Dr. Allen, are you ready to take a brave guest?
I wanted to give everyone a few more minutes, if that's okay. Maybe 2 more minutes. Because I know I was talking during some of that time. So I want to give everyone a little bit of quiet time.
I just wanted to say something. I'm actually going to come on camera. I just wanted to say something because I think this is interesting because somebody asked me like last year, like, what's kind of like your dream or your passion? And I couldn't remember because I was just like so burnt out, like from school and everything. So even sitting here thinking about it now, I'm just like, oh, like you get to stop and think, which I think is like important and a value. So I just wanted to say that. So.
Well, thank you for sharing, because sometimes we don't have the time,
right,
to really think about where we are and where we want to go. And I thought it was really important just to really, share not only my testimony, but what has happened in the past 2 years, because I think some people have had the time to really, sit, think, reflect on where they've been, and then decide, okay, where should I go or where do I want to go? So that's a really important point to bring up to the group. So thank you.
And I think this model also lets us know how we can get there. It's not just where we are or where we want to go, but it gives a blueprint for actually achieving it. And I think some people tend to give up or settle, so to speak, because they don't always know the how. So this is a great resource and document.
Thank you. And again, because I'm an elementary teacher at heart, I always think about, what are those strategies that are important for you to master any type of content, or whatever strategic plan that needs to be put in place in order for you to reach your goals. So thank you. I appreciate it. Sure. All right. So we're going to go ahead and continue with our presentation. It is 6:27, and I want to know if there is any brave participant who would like to go ahead and share their dream job or career and some of those qualities or characteristics of success. So what I'm going to do.
You turned your mic off, but Dr. James raised his hand.
Okay. Dr. James.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Well, because I couldn't type into the document, my dream job is as a change agent, being that I research racial socialization and Black masculinity and its effects upon ethical leadership development. I'm actually looking at beginning to use my data to create my own job as a change agent to help parents and other entities with racial socialization with young people, and dealing with how we need to have that discussion. And so some of the skills need to be communication skills, to be able to communicate with the various people that need to be involved, actually, and also collaboration. So who are the takers? Who are the individuals that I need to contact to be a part of and be in this network of collaboration? Administration skills. As a former assistant director of a mental health agency, I've actually coordinated and facilitated and linked things before. So finding out what I need to do at this juncture to be a change agent. And one of the biggest pieces is identifying the market. So what is my strategy? Being strategic in, am I going to be looking towards elementary, middle, high school? Am I going to be looking at churches, schools, or parents to be the people that I'm marketing this to? So that type of strategic planning. And then doing, as far as strategy, my pest and SWOT analysis to see what my threats and my abilities, what the positive and negatives are. So as I'm analyzing the business, putting a business plan together, getting the company ID number, all of the things that go into having a company. So those are the kind of things that I see as brainstorming, to starting from the end, working my way back things and steps that need to be put in place to actually bring this to fruition.
And thank you for sharing, because I know even in my journey of transitioning from the classroom into entrepreneurship and even working with companies, some of those business foundations that I did not know in the past. I mean, I had to take, some courses or learn from some friends and others who are in the business field. But I think it's really important that you really brought that up, because sometimes, again, when we're thinking about some of those characteristics and qualities for us to be successful, we don't really think about some of those other kind of logistics or operational things that we need to have in order to be successful in our career opportunity. So thank you for sharing.
One of the largest things that I think that we don't think about is funding. And so I've already looked into like a grant writer, somebody to help me, because I've had 3 other businesses in the past. And so understanding your stakeholders, who do you need on board, because you can't do everything. And so some things you need to learn how to delegate. You need to know who needs to be a part and put them in the company as this is the person who will handle this. And so knowing who you can reach out to, and the more you know about your steps to get to the outcome, the more you can talk to people, and you never know what person's gonna say, oh, either I can help you with that, or I know someone who can help you with that. So the more you can discuss it, talk about it, explain it, you'll be surprised at the people in your circle that either they can do it or they know someone who can help you.
You are absolutely right. And I'm a big proponent of networking and always sharing, your passions and dreams in a variety of environments. Because like you said, you never know who is in your pathway for a reason, and they may help you, and direct you into the right direction in order for you to go ahead and implement whatever dream or career opportunity you would like. So thank you for sharing. And these are all really, really valuable characteristics and qualities that are important. And for some of the other participants who didn't think about some of these qualities and you would like to add these onto your graphic organizer, go ahead and add them as I transition back into the slideshow. And again, this is we're working on the work together. So you can always go back to the document as we're having our conversation. You may want to make a change. Again, you may want to add. So this is for you.
Yes. So while Dr. Allen is transitioning back, let us know in the chat, do any of these resonate with you? Which ones did you also have on your brainstorming sheet? Was there anything missing that came to mind while Dr. James was talking? So please, just in what we just said about the power of networking, you never know who might be in this room. So use the chat to share your information, introduce yourself, and talk about your vision.
Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the presentation. So we just had an opportunity to go ahead, identify our dream job or career, and we wrote some of those qualities of success that would help us in our dream job or career. So now we want to think about what are some of our past or current experiences that align with a characteristic within our dream job or career opportunity. So I'm gonna give you guys just about 30 seconds. Think about one experience that you've had. It could be personal, it can be work related, it can be academic related. What is one experience that you had that relates to or supports one of the characteristics that you put on your graphic organizer. So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to think about that.
A few others that came up in the chat, written and verbal communication and presentation under the umbrella of communication. Again, collaboration and marketing. And I also added vision as one of the characteristics. So we have a pretty good list. And what I'm noticing is that it's transferable no matter what you picked. These skills that you need to bring to your passion, to your career are interchangeable in many regards.
And that's true. And I think these types of conversations are important because sometimes when we are in our, I like to call them work or academic silos, we think that those skills are just, you know, specific to that field or that career or that pathway, when a lot of times the skills that we learn can be applied or integrated across career opportunities. And again, I've learned that in the past few years from the transitions that I've made, even within education, that the skills, those skills that you learn are valuable, even if you change your career pathway.
So Dr. James, keeping with his example here, he put that one of his experiences is his lived experience of being a Black man and experience that racial socialization of just being a Black man in America. So that's profound. Any others? Facilitating ideation workshops, okay. And this was, your dream job was the innovator, right? I'm sorry, the name just says iPad, but I think that was for the innovation position. COVID-19 as a life experience. Yes, we can all add that one to our list.
Yes, 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 yes. And I thank you all for sharing in the chat. But we're going to go ahead and continue our conversation. If you did not have the opportunity to, if you just joined and you did not have the opportunity to have the link so you can access the documents, I'm gonna go ahead and put it again in the chat so you can access both graphic organizers. Now, what you guys are going to do is you're going to go ahead and pull your second graphic organizer, which is the 5Ws and H graphic organizer. I used this when I was a classroom teacher when I taught upper elementary, which was 3 through 5. And it really gave my students an opportunity to really look at some of those details within a text or within a story. But what we're going to do is we're going to apply this same strategy. And we're going to look at, again, what are some of those details about the experience that you had that relates to one of the characteristics of your dream job or career opportunity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the opportunity, go ahead and pull up this graphic organizer, complete it, write your experiences, write about the who, which was maybe your target audience, when did it happen, share a little bit about, why it happened, how, or if you had an outcome, how did you do it? Talk about, of course, your environment, where did it happen? And then what was happening? What were some of the events of your story? Again, because I'm an educator, of course, I think about beginning, middle, and end. You can, if you related to that, of course, when you think about, your outcome, you can think about the ending and things of that nature. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes again. Go ahead and complete this graphic organizer and really be thoughtful about that experience and how it is relatable to that characteristic of your dream job or career opportunity. And if you cannot write inside of the graphic organizer, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I want to keep you engaged as well.
Again, I think this is also a great time to ask questions, because as we get into the content, you know, inevitably we'll run out of time. So please, please, please use this time for questions or comments if you have them.
Or even if you have an aha moment or a thought as you are, you know, going through this process and completing these tools, you can unmute yourself, or you can, like I said, put it in the chat.
So I'm going to ask a profound question. Do you feel that you're in your dream job or your dream opportunity?
Ah, great question. So let me say this. I think, first of all, I'm a lifelong learner, and I believe that you grow through life, and with that growth, there may be change. So where I am now is one of my passions. Is what I'm doing is, I feel like it's in alignment with my purpose within the field of education. I do have a dream opportunity. So I would like to, at some point, work for the U.S. Department of Education as one of their curriculum and instruction directors. Mm-hmm. So that's something I would love to do. I know that there are some, well, possibly some experiences that I would need to have as far as working as a superintendent or doing something on that level. So it's something that I'm thinking about, and I have spoken and I have written it down. I have, you know, created a pathway. So yeah, it's one of those things about seeing if it comes into fruition. But
I'm smiling so big because what I didn't mention is that I am in DC and I come from the federal sector. So I worked at the U.S. Department of Education for 4 years. Okay. And you do not have to be a superintendent to work there. So we can talk later on about that. Ma'am. I've been in the federal government for 21 years, and I can give you all the ups and downs and ins and outs. And that's for anyone who's interested in the federal sector. The word that I picked up on from your response was alignment. And I think it's so great that you're using personal and professional together, or personal and work, because the core values need to align. I also liked that people didn't really put titles when you said, what do you want to be? No one really said director of education or, you know, a CEO of this or that, because the titles really don't matter. If you are living your core values, if you are doing things that are aligned with who you are and where you want to go, then you can have your dream job. So I appreciate that feedback.
Thank you. And I also think it's important that not only for us who are, of course, we're academics, all of us, but understanding that what we've done outside of our roles in academia or whatever career path that you've decided to go in are equally important, because you learn certain skills again outside of your current profession or position that not only help you in that position, but also help you within your just your life path. So I think it's really important that we identify those experiences as well. So we're going to go ahead, and because we have a few more minutes, I would like for us to complete our graphic organizer. So who would like to help me complete it?
This is
I know
Vernon.
this is not a shy group. Okay. Vernon.
Yes, how you guys doing? Thank you for putting this on. Let me see here. I'm just gonna push this. I'm gonna push it via the chat, and then I'll kind of talk through it. Okay. Okay, does everybody see that?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, excellent. So I put the innovation strategist piece there, and for those who may wonder what that is, basically that's a person that go into a company and help them identify where they want to go in the future, related to identifying new products and services, and and being creative about what's coming next for the business. So at this point in time, I'm using the experience from when I taught at this place called the Knowledge Shop. So the who were adult learners, and the what was I was teaching a creativity ideation class on how to use the practical tools of creativity. Back then, it was in 2007. A few dates in 2007 when I did that. I was an instructor, and I used a workbook that I subsequently turned into a book about unleashing your ability to create. It's called the Idea Journal, and it's a tool for unleashing your urge to create. And I also used a PowerPoint presentation, and that was here in Orlando, Florida. And that's it, unless there's anything else you want me to add.
Yes, if you could just say it again slowly, that would be
Oh,
great.
wow.
And he
was I
also
going
put
too
in the
fast?
chat if you want to
No,
cut and
it's
paste
fine.
from
You
there.
were in conversation, and I was trying to capture everything, but my fingers were going a little too slow. Then
okay.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So to start from the top, the experience was I developed and facilitated a creativity workshop, and the audience were adult learners, so they were adults who wanted to get some additional training and skills. And what it was a ideation class, and I did it back in 2007. There was a couple of dates back then, and basically it was I used a workbook that had all the creativity tools inside the workbook, like the standard things that we do, like brainstorming, whether it's like you put the SWOT analysis up there, the different creativity tools, and that was in a PowerPoint presentation as well. And where I did it was here in Orlando, Florida. Okay, let me see here. I see you still typing here. Okay, so all right, good. So the why. So if you go why, basically I want to help adults learn how to use the tools of creativity. Okay, I got you. You were trying to catch up. You were trying to write the box while I was talking. I was looking at a whole nother slide. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just trying to make sure I captured everything within your experience, because
Oh, okay.
sometimes I'm an audio learner while I'm trying to do kinesthetic things. So,
No
but
problem.
Thank you for sharing. This is great experience. And for others who are completing this, I can see how this experience relates to this career opportunity. Tell me your name.
Vernon Myers.
Vernon Myers. Can you
Mhm.
tell me one characteristic of your dream job as an innovation strategist?
So I put so one, let's just say facilitation. That would be one quality or characteristic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That works. So now, if you guys see this example that Vernon gave us, we can see how his experience directly relates to that characteristic that he needs to be in order to be successful as an innovation strategist. So you had that experience before. It happened in 2007. You can talk
Mhm.
about, the goals, you can talk about what happened, and then you can also talk about the outcome, which is
Mm.
really important again when we're thinking about how can we align some of our experiences, life experiences, with where we're trying to be or where we're trying to go. So I appreciate you for participating, Vernon.
Thank you. I appreciate this tool to help you kind of hone in on what it is you're looking for. So appreciate that.
All right, so as you guys are completing, we're going to go ahead and continue with our presentation. So we had the opportunity to go ahead and identify our dream job or career opportunity. We described some of the characteristics that will help us to be successful in our dream job or career opportunity. And then we identified one experience that relates to one characteristic within our dream job or career opportunity. So with this information and tools that we have, we can think about some of the next steps that we can take in order to go ahead and implement what we started and put it into action. So the first thing you can do is you can continue writing and developing out your plan. So we only did one characteristic and one experience. Of course, you may have a plethora of experiences and characteristics. Go ahead and continue writing, whether it's journaling, whether you have some form of writing, it can be digitally. Go ahead and continue that work. Also, if you have your resume and CV, this is an opportunity as you're completing your tools and your pathways in order to reach your dream job or career opportunity, you can make some tweaks to that. So now you can see, okay, these are some experiences that truly align to some of these roles that I've had. And again, what I'm trying to achieve. So you can write that story within your resume or within your CV. Also, this is a great way to prepare for a future interview or a future conversation or business meeting. If you have this information in front of you, then you can really talk about some of those experiences and then how it relates to what you would like to do in your role and how you can help your target market or somewhere within your field that you would like to go into. And then lastly, this will give you an opportunity to really reflect, because maybe as you were going through this experience, you identified that I need some other experiences or some additional experiences that will really help me to be strong within this dream job or career opportunity that I have. So maybe if you're thinking about taking a course, or maybe if you need to continue with education and learn some other skills, then this is that time for you to go ahead and start putting a plan in place for yourself. So here is a quick exit ticket. You can write it in the chat. Just quickly explain how a past or current experience supports your success in your dream job or career opportunity. And again, because we only have 1 minute, you can put it in the chat if you would like to share, or if you would like to write it on your graphic organizer that you have, you can put it there. But I'll leave it up for about 15 more seconds, and then we'll be able to transition into Q&A if we have time.
Yes. So you get to earn 2 tickets today because you also need to complete an evaluation of this session. So I am putting that in the chat as well. And if you could take a moment to fill that out, we would greatly appreciate it. I'll go ahead now and just say thank you so much, Dr. Allen. You have gotten us so far in a very, very short amount of time. And what I love is that you have given us actual tools that we can go back and think about and process in our own time, because this takes a lot of thought, really. And we don't often stop to really think about our experiences in this way and give ourselves credit for all that we've done and how we can apply that.
And again, because we only have 50 minutes, this would take more than just our time together. We would need days possibly to really, work on the work so we can transition to our dream job and opportunity. So thank you for acknowledging that, Dr. Pierce.
Oh, absolutely. And you mentioned in your next steps that it could look like more training or more education. I would also offer coaching, people who actually help you think through these things, because for some, it may not be as easy to fill in those bubbles or really make the connections to what they mean. So coaching as another form of development could be an opportunity as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Would you like an example right now, or did you want to go into Q&A?
For the interest of time,
3 minutes.
Yeah, for the interest of time, I'm in the chat now, so I'll just read that. Dr. McRavion, did I say your last name right? James, did I say your last name right? McRavion?
He says, being a director of an agency is now able to plan a structure for his dream job. So
absolutely, you said it perfectly.
Okay, thank you.
I was trying to get back to the mute button.
In the session description, Dr. Allen, you put that this was primarily for like undergrads or graduate students, but I can see this tool being used at any phase of your career, at any phase of your academic experience. So it's really universal.
Thank you, and it is. And I know, again, this is a time that a lot of graduates and undergraduates are transitioning out of school and possibly going into a career or going to a postdoctoral fellowship or something in that pathway. So I just thought it would be really important to do it now as people are making that transition. But you are also correct that this is also a time when professionals are making the transition as well. So thank you. And I would just like to close with a quick quote, just to have something on your mental as you are continuing to work. Your plan is a bridge to your dreams, and your job is to make the plan or bridge real so your dreams will become real.
Yes. Thank you again. I think you should give them homework, really. Since you're a teacher, what do you want them to work on over these next few days? Because the momentum is important too, right? To keep going and to keep working on it.
So honestly, you have the tools. I gave you the tools. So all you need to do is continue building out where you are and where you're trying to be as far as your dream job or career opportunity. So of course, you can use the graphic organizer, you can do more. Some people like to create the vision boards. You can use the model and go ahead and start using that, because if you are a visual learner, that can help you as well. So continue the work that we started. Use the tools that you have, put a plan in place, go back to your resume and CV, see where you can make some additions or make some tweaks, excuse me. And then also, if you are planning to have any type of business meeting or an interview, just pull out these resources, review them so you can prep for that important conversation.
Okay, we will take just one question
Okay.
if there is one. I saw someone come off of camera, so I was thinking maybe they had a question. No, we're good. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for attending this session. You can just tell by the chat that it has been very impactful. You see Dr. Allen's information here on the screen. So please, please, please get in contact with her to help you, help guide you as you go through this and for educational consulting. One more reminder to take that link in the chat for the evaluation and fill that out for us. And if you haven't saved the link that, or the links that Dr. Allen put in, please take 2 seconds to grab those as well. We hope you enjoy the rest of the Black Doctoral Network series. There are a few more left. We enjoy having you as a part of this community. Take care.